Does your business use Instagram to get the word out about your products and services? If you answered yes, then this video is for you. My name is Megan Gersh. I've been a brand designer, web designer, and marketer for over 13 years. And today I want to go through a few different ways that you can brand your Instagram feed so that you can build trust with your audience and make more sales. But first, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell icon to be notified for more branding, marketing, and web design tips. Before we jump into the nitty-gritty of how exactly to brand your feed, I want to talk a little bit about why it's important. If you've done any marketing for your business, you likely already know that you have to build a know, like, and trust factor with your audience. This is absolutely necessary before they will make a purchase from you. Branding is one way that you can start to build that brand recognition, because when you start to show up consistently with the same colors, the same fonts, same look and feel throughout your content, people will start to recognize your content. Over time, they'll start to remember how your content looks and feels. Showing up with a consistent look and feel also shows that you put a bit more thought into your content, and attention to that kind of detail can make your brand that much more trustworthy. So how can you take this concept and translate it to your Instagram account? I'm going to run through 5 different places where you can integrate your branding into your strategy. The first placement, and possibly the most obvious, would be into the actual posts that you're putting onto your grid. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have a picture-perfect grid. In fact, in 2021, we're kind of moving away from that picture-perfect grid style on Instagram. However, if you plan out your content, there are ways that you can integrate your brand's colors and fonts so that in general, you're always coming back to those 3 or 4 core colors in your feed. Number 2, you should have a general tone that you speak to your audience in. Keep that consistent throughout your posts. The easiest way to tackle how to handle this messaging is to think about how you might talk to that one specific person that you're trying to reach. Perhaps you're going for an informational tone or a funny tone, or you use some kind of slang. Whatever it is, make sure that it's consistent throughout your posts. Number 3, you can integrate your brand colors and iconography into the story highlights. Now, if you don't use them already, I highly recommend using story highlights. These can sometimes act as your best of reels, or if somebody comes to your profile and they want to get to know you quickly, they could explore some of those highlights to get a better sense of what they're looking for. Instagram does allow you to add covers to those highlights, so make sure that you're utilizing that feature as another branding opportunity. And while we're talking about stories, let's talk about tip number 4. There are several ways that you can brand your Instagram stories and take them to that next level. Using either Photoshop or Canva, you can create a small color palette as an image that you can save within your camera roll. If you add that image to your Instagram story, you'll be able to use the eyedropper tool in order to color select the exact color code that you want to from that color palette image, and then you'll be able to use that color for the rest of the elements within your story. You can also create a folder on your phone of images that relate to your branding. For example, in my branding, I have a few textures and icons that I use a lot in order to accent images. They all live within a single folder on my phone. Anytime that I want to use one of those images, I simply go to my camera roll and then copy the image from my camera roll and then paste it into my Instagram story. And finally, let's talk about your Reels and IGTV covers. It can be difficult with video content on Instagram to get across the main benefit of why someone might want to watch that video. And this is where covers come into play. With covers, you can create a custom branded image that also tells the audience the main benefit of why they should watch. Again, this is another place where you can integrate your brand colors, fonts, and textures. I hope that this was helpful to you. Comment down below with the tip that helped you the most. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.